There's a spot. That's enough of that. I figured I'd get that out of the way first before I had a lot of people coming and talking to me, because when that thing's on me and vibrating, when I try to talk, it tickles, like the insides of my throat vibrate, and so it's not my favorite. All right, so let's get this. Okay. I'll keep this up and I'll lower the camera. Oh. Oh. Rebar 9, how's it going? I'm doing pretty good. My knee's doing pretty good. I had a really nice leg workout yesterday. And today I can basically feel my legs sucking all the energy out of me today. Like they're hungry. They want my legs want food. And they want to rest and they want to recover. How are you doing? I just realized I left my phone in the other room. I'll probably run and grab it in a minute, because that way I can read chat while I'm stretching on the floor. Oh. You like that feeling? Me too. Otherwise, I wouldn't continuously put myself through it. Especially that feeling that you're gonna, next week, you'll be a little bit bigger, your muscles will grow. Oh. Feels like I don't have enough room in here today, and I don't know why. Who's that? Immortal Chickens. What incarnation? On recovery day, go lift some weights, you noob. I'm assuming, I'll assume your thoughts there. Oh. Oh. Yeah, I'm at the cusp here where I'm training, I'm at the cusp between overtraining and not overtraining. And so I got a couple things going on. First, about a month I busted my knee up a while ago. My knee is mostly recovered. I have to be careful with more athletic movements. Like any lateral movement on the knee could really set me back. But close to around the same time, I did a max bench of 365, and I ended up popping a rib out. And then around the same time, I was overdoing it with my back, and I started getting problems with my traps, which led up into my neck. It doesn't bother me that much. The problem is it's just been not 100% for quite a while now. Oh. And then the third thing is my right shoulder has been a little bit taxed, where I'm at the point where it's always at the point of not being recovered, at the cusp of recovered and not recovered. So I'm going to switch it up, and for the next 2 to 3 weeks, I'm going to focus primarily on leg days. I'm going to cool it down. I'll do more exercise type workouts. But for weightlifting, I'll primarily focus on legs. I'll do legs twice a week, and that will be the hardest part of my workout. So for the next 2 to 3 weeks, I'm going to take it slightly easy, let my body recover. Oh. Because when I busted up my knee, all I could do was leg and back days, one after the other. Oh. You took a week off and you feel very weak. You're gonna sleep for the gym in the morning. Well, have a nice sleep. Glad you could come by. Thanks for choosing your neighbor, your friendly neighborhood, Adam. Oh, that's embarrassing. I'm gonna use this later on my shoulder. I'm gonna lay on it, roll on it. I'll probably be here for 2 hours just fooling around, doing a little bit of this, doing a little bit of that. But yeah, so rebar. In a week, you probably never. That's probably more of a psychological thing. You get used to training, and then you stop, and it just feels like blah. But at the same time, when I've been my strongest was after taking some time off at the gym, where I had spent significant amount of periods building muscle, building strength, but I was always like a little bit worn down. And then suddenly, I got sent out of town for like 3 weeks with minimal workouts. I come back and suddenly I'm fully recovered and I'm just crushing weights like I never crushed before. basically in a week, as long as you don't like stop eating and your body doesn't start devouring itself, not too much is actually going to change. And if something does change, your body still retains muscle memory. Oh, there's the ticket. That's just tender. I got a massage scheduled for tomorrow. My second massage of the pandemic. I'll do I'll do a light workout first, get a massage after, and then Wednesday I'll do my second leg day of the week. Oh, here's a ticket. Oh, I gotta put a lot of weight on my rear delts to, so I can feel them. Oh, I'm not fully on my lat right now. I'm more rear delt. Now I do my lat. All right, let's go. Roll over my back again. Oh. All right, leg times. Leg time. Going through a rough family-wise, yeah. Sorry to hear that. Yeah, that that stuff doesn't just affect the mind; it affects the body. And sometimes, like at times like that, it can be particularly hard to just do something. But I find just moving your body. It sounds cliche, but it does help, even if it's only temporary. But sometimes, sometimes just having a temporary release where you forget what's going on can be enough to get you through the week. Oh, I did really heavy glutes last night. Ah, yeah. They say, oh, you shouldn't have found your favorite family members, but that's not really realistic. I got my favorite sibling. Meanwhile, I'm my favorite sibling's favorite sibling, but she only likes me half as much as she likes her cat. Oh, oh. She's got a mentally challenged cat that's got problems where the cat, one moment from the next, most times it hates everybody, and then sometimes it is like, okay, now give me attention, and 3 seconds later it attacks you. It's like, I've had enough, die, human. It's it's always watching, ready for a freak out. Oh. And my sister is the only person that the cat actually likes in the world. Oh. I miss my cat. I had a cat for 24 years. I grew up on a farm where I had quite literally 100 cats. Every year there'd be like 2 batches of kittens. Most of them were always given away. But being farm, like the ones that stayed being farm cats, often didn't live that long. Like maybe like 5 years, and there's wild animals out there, and we have hard winters. We had another cat that was a wild cat that made our farm its home for probably about 12 years. And we had one really, really tough winter where this cat got frostbite, lost the tips of its ears, and also went deaf. So we had this wild cat that absolutely hated us, but would always come to the door for food, right? But you can't touch, you can't even get within like 10 feet of the thing. But when it got deaf, it couldn't hear you anymore. So there'd be lots of times where like you want okay, inadvertently, sometimes inadvertently, other times not, just because it's entertaining. You'd end up walking behind this cat, didn't see it, and all of a sudden it sees you, and then it jumps like 3 feet in the air, and then bolts off. Oh. Werewolf, how's it going? I don't have a cat now. I had a cat, its name was Windy. That cat lived to be over 24 years old. I basically spent my adolescence playing video games with that cat on my lap, petting that cat for like hour after hour while I was playing my games. And I'm actually allergic to cats. So basically, my entire adolescence, I didn't have a sense of smell. And I just thought that was normal. I didn't realize how dull my sense of smell was until one day the house was on fire. The entire place was filled with smoke, and I didn't realize because I couldn't smell it. How are you doing, Werewolf? I didn't. Uh, my mother ended up running in and smacking me outside the house. Well, not like smacking me outside the house, like literally smacking me to get me outside the house. Like, what's wrong with you? But in the end, it stayed contained in the kitchen. My, meanwhile, I was like right next to the kitchen too. Had no idea. Meanwhile, my mother had put some stuff on the stove, and then went and took a nap and forgot about it. Oh. Just having dinner. I had a nice hearty meal. I made protein bars yesterday too, so I have ready-made stacks. I love it. My wrists are starting to get sore from. I probably should have stretched my wrist first. See, often yes, but often strongmen are actually more conscious of the calories that they eat. Um, Particularly when they're like in the muscle building season, like it's like powerlifters are stuck by their weight class, where strongmen um, often tailor their body for the exercises that they're given like 6 months in advance. So they know they're going to perform here, and they're going to have to do more running. They're going to have to do more of this. They're going to have to do more of that. So they might have to train differently from year to year, because sometimes they might. Okay, so this event is going to be focused more on deadlift, or this event is going to be focused more on like stone lifting and log pushing, and just and maybe the little bit lighter competitors might have a little bit of an advantage. Whereas in powerlifting, often it's bulking and then cutting. So like the strongest powerlifters who look like the strongmen, at that point they're like they just need to eat. They don't even like size, put on more size, uh, anything they can do. But often it comes down to people get trainers that they believe in and end up following the routines given to them religiously. Like even like Brian Shaw, right? Like he takes you inside his kitchen and he's like, this is what my trainer has got me on. I basically told him this is like I want to do this, and he's given me a meal plan for it, and I trust the guy. I've been working for him for years. My plan might not be like you can critique my plan. It might not be the best for you, but I have faith in my guy, and this is what I'm gonna. All right, enough of that. I wanna warm my shoulder a little bit. It depends from person to person, really. Depends on like powerlifting is very wide open. When you compare powerlifters to strongmen, I'm assuming you're talking like the powerlifters who like are just like as most weight as they can on themselves to lift the heaviest weight, as opposed to staying within 180 pounds, so that you're competing against other people who are 180 pounds and trying to put on as much muscle on a 180-pound frame. Uh, there's a wide spectrum of how people eat along both like strongman versus powerlifting. But you wanna gain a lot of size, you gotta eat, and you gotta eat a lot of calories consistently, and it's not easy. Like particularly with with strongmen, the training is the easy part, right? Like 4 hours a day, training 4 hours a day. They're having fun with their training. It's everything else that they're doing, particularly with diet, that actually gets tough. Where you're like waking up early just to eat a meal. And then like having a workout and then stopping because they need to eat because they're on like 3,600 calories a day and absolutely starving. Well, it depends what you mean on good, right? Like if they make you happy, they got something going for them. But if you want to sustain yourself on nachos, that's not a great idea. Nachos have little nutrition in them, and they're not filling, so they can leave like a hole in your stomach. You just keep eating them, and never actually become satisfied. But any snack can be added to a quality meal plan as long as it's in moderation and you actually understand how much you're eating of said snack and working it into your diet. Black bean tacos. My favorite tacos will always just be those Taco Bell soft tacos. I remember in university, I would walk about like 2 kilometers to the Taco Bell. I'd order they had a 12 soft taco family pack, so I'd order all those soft tacos, and I'd order 2 chili cheese burritos, and I just gorge all that stuff down in one sitting, and then I'd walk back. That was the life. And when I started really getting into weightlifting, I remember I'd go to Taco Bell maybe like once a year, and I'd have even more to eat. I'd throw in have that same meal, but I'd throw in like a big crunch combo, a big crunch sandwich, spicy, throw in some chili cheese, or not some of those like nacho cheese fries, and my ability to eat just went up. All right, so I'm gonna bring this guy out right now, get back on the floor, and I'm going to get into my shoulder. Because let's get this thing up a little higher. Oh, I gotta be careful of my knee when I kneel down. Right there, that's just where my shoulders are right now. Oh. 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 There we go. Now it's not too much. There we go. All right. Now get it on my traps. This is what you do when you can't go out to get massages anymore. Even though I say that with a massage book tomorrow, that's going to be my first one in forever. Okay. The lacrosse ball is very unforgiving. There is no give to it. All right. It's your shoulder crunches when you use the lacrosse ball. Um, when you're trying to massage with something, you want to like thread the muscle. Often what happens with crunching is you might be slipping off the muscle, and then sort of the muscle gets like pushed against other muscles, and then it just crunches away. Um, like when you're massaging, you want to go down the muscle. If you go like long ways along it, particularly with something like this, you're able to like slide off it really quickly because this thing is like pinpoint accuracy, and yeah, you can definitely crunch yourself as like it's like tendons. Sometimes tendons can click if you're Like often what's like you get a pop in your body, and that's not actually the bone popping or the joint popping. Often that's a tendon just slipping and popping just because it's moving laterally. But it'd be hard for me to, I'd have to see the exact situation, but I'd imagine it's just the way you're using it somehow. Yeah. And I guess you can technically hurt yourself with this thing. Um, but you should be able to feel that the difference between the muscle pain and if it's like in between like a pressure point or something, or not a pressure point, but like if you're getting into a joint or if you're getting into like you can dig around inside your shoulder here, where you can actually have detrimental effects. Particularly, you get a tight shoulder. You shouldn't necessarily dig in here yourself without actually understanding where things connect. Oh, I'm starting to get tired, honestly. It's been a long day at work, and it's only Monday. The weather's not helping, but I'm gonna switch it up. I'm gonna go on the bike for a bit. This is the part where I finished my deep tissue work. Probably spent longer than I intended to, but that's okay. I wasn't in a rush. I'm going to be right back. I'm going to grab my phone. There. Now I can interact with you guys while I'm on my bike. Although it would be nice to have socks because these pedals sort of dig into my feet. Okay, so let's set up my phone. Set up my phone. Switch. Click myself. Click myself. Click myself. Perfect. For that, a lot of volume, consistency, and then it's just time. And you say you want to build yourself up like me. Well, I want to build myself up like myself 3 years ago. Okay, let's get this cord out of here. It's like on my feet. Yeah, I'm chasing who I was 3 years ago before I herniated my disc and tore my glute. And then life got hard for a while. But I'm happy with seeing my consistent gains. Even if they're small, I understand what's realistic, what's not for myself, as well as I understand how much effort I'm putting in and how much I could be. And it's a little bit of a balancing game where, like with myself right now, I'm not pushing myself as hard as I used to. I'm not as single-minded. I'm more content to be more laid back about it. Still having an active life, doing what I can for recovery. Watching what I eat. But if you want to get to your peak fitness, you're not going to know what that actually is without several years of consistent, efficient training down your belt. It takes about 4 years of effective, efficient training to get near your peak genetics. And without putting in that work, you don't really know how well you are blessed genetically. Like, in some ways you can, but like how good you can actually get, you just don't know without putting in that time. Yeah, like with training hard and smart, you can see a lot of results in your first year, and then you're only going to see half as much in your second year, but that can still be a lot of results. 3 years, you're going to see a quarter of what you saw in your first year. 4 years, it's really peters off. But that's training as efficiently as possible. Like, if you don't, you could have like steady progress even up for 10 years, as long as you're consistent, even if you're not pushing yourself that hard. Because once, like, if you want to get bigger, you want your muscles to get bigger, you actually have to try harder. You got to put in more work as you get stronger. Because as you get stronger, the exercises that you've been doing get easier, and you need to make them as difficult as they have been before you got stronger and the exercises got easier. And then there's a lot you can experiment with. You could experiment getting a little bit bulky with more muscle but being less lean. You could focus on staying lean and building muscle. But life is long, and you could experiment with a little bit of everything like I've done. And find out what you enjoy the best, what works for you. My legs are struggling today. The weight is the resistance on this bike is pretty high, and my legs are toast from yesterday. So I'm probably not gonna keep at this for too long. I forgot my water over there. I don't have a fan directly on me. Yeah, bulking is a lot. Anybody can bulk up. Not everybody can cut effectively. Like, not everybody has the willpower to do a heavy cut. But it comes down to how long you're bulking, how much weight you put on while you're bulking, how long you give yourself to cut, and how much you want to cut. Like, how high of a calorie deficit do you need to be in? I've done dirty bulking before, and it wasn't fun. And even putting on 1 pound a week can be a significant amount of weight. But limiting it to like half a pound to a pound a week, you're not going to feel fat like you would on a dirty bulk. Like a dirty bulk, it just feels, you just don't feel good by the end of it. It's more, what's the word? It's more sustainable to cut slower. To find a diet that will get you lean, that you can see yourself eating for the rest of your life, as opposed to, I'm dieting, I've met my goal, now I'm done dieting, and what happens? You go eat like how you used to, that got you the body that you decided you need to cut for. And particularly, if you do like a painful, like large cut, if you, it depends on what body fat percentage you get down to, right? If you're getting down to like sub 7% body fat, that's not sustainable, except for 1 out of like 5 million people. One out of like millions of people can actually sustain that. But if you get to like a tolerable like 9 to 11% body fat, that's something that you can cut down to and sustain. But to prevent doing the yo-yo effect, once you get down that body fat percentage, let your body stay there for a while so that your body can adjust and get used to it. And that becomes your new muscle memory. And that's how your body starts to want to eat, instead of trying to bring yourself back up to what you were just like a month before. All right, that's enough of that. Just because I want water. I'm gonna start my stretching videos really soon. My legs feel like jello today. Ugh. Yeah, so it's more sustainable to cut slower. You're not going to suffer as much. But at the same time, if you want to get down to show ready, there's a couple things to think about, right? If you can build muscle while you're cutting, but that depends on what body fat percentage you're at. Right? Like if you're 30% body fat, it's not going to be any more efficient to build muscle while you're cutting, or if you're if you're just hitting maintenance. But once you get leaner, there's a point where you can actually lose some gains that you would have otherwise made by not cutting, as well as if you're cutting and you want to get to a really low body fat percentage, you're going to suffer no matter what, no matter whether you're going fast or whether you're going slow, and you might just want to get it over with. Like, you're not going to stay there for long. You have a show, you're going to give yourself an X number of weeks to get there, and you're going to suffer for those amount of weeks to get as lean as possible. Whereas why would you want to spread out your suffering if you're only going to be there for a little bit, get show ready, and then move on with your life, and then jump back up to something that's a little bit more healthy, because 5% body fat, it's not healthy. I do care what protein powder I take. Some of them are a little bit better than others, but really they're all within the generic, like they're all within a general range. But I'll spend the extra money on something that's a little bit higher quality, even if it's only by a little bit. And they're all very much the same, right? You get your whey protein ice, like whey isolate, like for right after the workout. I have this 4-stage one. I think the brand is Quattro. And then I have a casein protein that I use in meals. So if I'm going to make some like my protein bars, I use this it's protein from 4 sources that all have different absorptions, all mixed into one. I use that for half of my protein bars, and then the casein, which is the slow absorbing, slow acting, whatever you want to call it, protein. I add the like half of that, mix it all together, and that's what I make my protein bars out of. And just chocolate, and it's the most delicious thing in the world. It's like a chocolate brownie that you can eat as much as you want. And one, it'll fill you up. It's very filling, it's very rich, but at the same time, very low in calories. All right, so let's get this out of the way, and I'm going to just start stretching. I've been more or less puttering around right now, but I'm going to turn off my music and I'm going to switch to my stretching view. Why did that happen? Why did it suddenly zoom in? I don't know why I did that. Let's go back to my, yeah, why did that happen? That's just, oh, I know why. This thing is, let me fool around with my settings here. Stretching, stream, camera 2. Yeah, I don't know why that's so bloody huge. There we go. Fix the problem. Only health who goes, you got problems, I got solutions. All right, I got answers. That's his. All right, so off this one, now you guys should be able to hear what's going on in my computer. I will go to fitness, stretching for the inflexible. Hello. I can't tell. Where's the sound?
Hey everyone, it's Nico, and today I'm going to be taking you through a complete beginner's flexibility routine. If you're someone who feels that flexibility is one of your weakest suits, this video is for you.
Marco, I just want to make sure, I'm looking at the sound here, trying to make sure it's not too loud.
I'm start standing on the mat, and I'm going to bring my right arm up.
All right.
And just...
So, I'm going to start stretching. Got my phone, so I'll take it with me. I want to grab I feel like this is my short one. Yeah, this is my short one. This isn't the one I want to use. This one. Much better. I'll keep this on hand. I'll keep this on hand. I'm tight, I can feel it. I'll keep this on hand. You out of here. And now it's time to stretch. Oh. All right.
Hey everyone, it's Nico, and today I'm going to be taking you through a complete beginner's flexibility routine. If you're someone who feels that flexibility is one of your weakest suits, this video is for you. So we're going to start standing on the mat, and I'm going to bring my right arm up and just place it over the other side of my head and just let gravity pull me down. This is something that you always want to keep in your mind while you're stretching, is to just let gravity do all of the work. You're not necessarily pushing yourself into anything because that can cause pain. Just letting your neck fall, using the weight of your right arm. Pull on your neck, and then we'll switch to the other side. Again, you don't want to be pulling down on your neck because that could hurt you. Just rest it there. Then we'll wrap both arms behind our head to go forward. Just let it dangle. Every time you breathe, your muscles get more relaxed. And finally, we'll just hang our head back. Maybe shake it a little bit side to side. And now we'll take one roll. And then to the other side. Then we'll roll our shoulders back.
Glutes are nailed too. How's it going?
Back. And forward. Then I'll step my feet out. Be a little bit more than hip width apart.
Had a really
We'll
hefty
the knees.
leg workout
Reach up and breathe.
last night.
And then come back down. Reach up. Breathe. We're going to do this a few times. And what we're doing here is really stretching out
I haven't been
letting it warm up.
Streaming regularly enough, I don't think.
Before we start stretching. And this is something that you should always do before you stretch. You don't want to just start pushing your body.
Life's been keeping me busy.
If your muscles are warm,
and I've been doing more workouts at the gym.
Much easier. Awesome job, guys. Great. So for this next stretch, I'm going to grab this stool behind me, but you can grab anything in your house that's about that height. A desk, a table, or a chair, anything will work. So if you need to grab that, go ahead and do that now. So I'm going to come and place my feet more than hip width apart, and then we're going to lean forward to rest our hands on this stool. And this is just to make getting into this stretch a lot easier. You really want to make progress here and make sure that you're not putting too much pressure on your hands, but it's there to keep it from being too painful. So let's hold here. Make sure you're breathing, sending oxygen to your hamstrings while you stretch them. And try as hard as you can to relax, because the more relaxed your muscles are, the more flexible they will be. And then I will come up and we'll move it a little bit to the side so that it makes a line with my leg, and then I'll come to the side. In this position, I want to make sure my hips are even and I'm not letting one be higher than the other. And again, I'm breathing.
Pony calves. How's it going?
And you can also be.
I can't flex when everyone's coming in now because
chair or whatever you're using.
I'm doing what the lady tells me to do.
Remembering to breathe. And back up. And just one more time for good measure, we're going to come back to the center. So I'm going to come down on my elbows here to give myself a little bit of an extra stretch, but I only recommend doing this if you're able to keep your back flat while doing so. And by that I mean it's engaged, your shoulder blades are tucked down, pulling towards your lower back, and you aren't letting it arch up like this, just keeping it nice and flat, should be parallel to the ground. And if you aren't able to do that here, then come back up onto your hands. And then we'll come back up to stand. So for this next stretch, we're going to be sitting on the ground. So I'm going to move this stool out of our way. I'm going to sit back on the edge of my mat.
All right.
And extend my legs out to either side.
First time viewer.
Straddle stretch, your legs will be straight, but in our modified...
Hold on. How's it going? All right, let's go back to the floor. This is where I'm going to be for the next little bit. Take my water with me. Take my phone with me so I can read what you guys are saying without having to get up. Oh shit, there's poured water on the ground.
Version, we'll have our legs bent here, lifting our knees up off of the ground. And from here, we'll just go as far forward as you can. Now, I encourage you to place your hands a foot, maybe 2 feet in front of your hips. And from here, you want to slowly try and straighten your legs, bringing your knees to touch the ground. So that's what you're fighting for. You just want to hold. So straddle stretch is a great stretch to be able to see your own progress in. I encourage you to pay attention to the floor if you're stretching in the same place every day. So you'll start to see your hands move along, and it's really encouraging. So while you're pulling to get into these stretches a little bit deeper, you always want to make sure you're pulling from the right place. And the common thing to do is pull the top of your head down to try and pull yourself closer to the ground, but you actually want to pull your chest closer, and that's going to keep your back lifted and your shoulder blades pinched together like the flat back I was talking about earlier, so you're able to reach out and really go to the
my legs are stiff.
Of your stretch. So for now, make sure you're pulling your chest out and think about trying to get that pulled down all the way to the ground. Okay, so now we're going to stretch each side, and in a normal straddle stretch, we could stay here and then fold over to each side, but to make it a bit easier, we bring our opposite leg in and then go over. So you want to grab onto your leg and pull your chest closer as you stretch. And you want to make sure you're keeping that back flat. You will be able to reach farther if you arch, but you're losing all of that nice stretch in the back of your leg, all through your hamstring if you do so. So fight for that flat back and try and get that chest to your knee. And now we'll go to the other side. So we'll switch, bring our other leg into our thigh, and then fold over. I'm pulling my chest to my knee, stretching out that hamstring. Trying to keep your back as flat as you can.
My knees are dry.
And come back up and to the center. Let's do the middle stretch one more time. So we'll bend our knees and come forward. Maybe notice that you've made a little bit of an improvement, a centimeter or two. Each time you do it, you should feel a little bit more comfortable. And fight to lower your knees a little bit. that back flat. A few more seconds. Really lower down as far as you can. And come out of it. Amazing. So now we're going to bring our feet into the middle for a butterfly stretch. And here I'm just going to sit and hold my ankles and push my knees down with my elbow. You should be feeling a nice stretch either in your groin or in your glutes, or maybe both, depending on where you need to be more flexible.
I get the fan right behind me. It's great.
And we're going to fold over. And in this stretch, it's okay if you let your head go and you arch your back. It's one of the few. Really pulling yourself down. And now we're going to do the opposite and try and stretch out and keep that back as flat as we can. Pushing that chest out, really stretching out those hips. And come back up. So the next thing that we're going to do is going to be a pike stretch, and I'm going to move sideways for this so you can see me better. So the key to doing this is having your hips all the way underneath your body and your back up straight behind you. If you're unable to sit up straight, then you want to keep your butt above your feet, and there are a couple different ways that you can do this. The easiest way, using only your body, is to actually come up onto one knee and extend the other one in front of you so that you can start to lean forward. That'll make it a lot easier. You just have to make sure that you do it on both sides. You can also be in a pike with either a low chair or maybe a few towels stacked underneath you so that you're lifted above your feet. So for now, I'm going to stay seated here on the mat, but if you need to go and grab a chair or something else to sit on, go ahead and do that now. So I'm going to lean forward.
So I'm going to pause her,
grabbing as far down
and I'm going to do my own thing now. What I'm going to do next is I'm just going to, I've done at least 4 bends. So I'm just going to bend the other way. Hey, I can chat in my own chat on this thing. All right.
And if you are here and you're sitting up super straight and it's already stretching the backs of your hamstrings, that is absolutely great. I encourage you to stay here and keep fighting for it. If you chose to sit here without any practicing this stretch, you can come out of it. Awesome job, guys. Okay, so coming all the way up to the tops of the hamstrings. And then we'll come out of it. Awesome job, guys. Okay, so I'm just going to scooch forward a little bit so I can lay down on my back here. And we're going to lift one leg up. And you can grab it as low as you need to. The other thing that you could do here is grab a belt or a scarf or an actual exercise band, wrap around your heel and then pull your leg closer. But holding lower down on your leg is just fine too. And as you're practicing this stretch, you want to make sure that you're always reaching and trying to walk your hands up and get them all the way up here. This really is the goal of this stretch, but for now, it's fine to grab it down here. And then I'm gonna bend my knee in, pull it to my chest, and bring it over my body to come to a twist. Really feeling it all through the spine. And come back. And we'll straighten again. Always pulling it closer to you. Feeling that stretch in the hamstring. And one more time, pulling it to your chest. And then over. Every time you breathe, relax your spine a bit more. And then we'll come back to center. And switch, bring the other leg up, grab as high up as you can and pull it closer to you. Making sure that top leg is all the way straight. And then bending it in. To pull across your body. Turn your head to face the other way. And breathe, releasing your spine, letting it fully twist. We'll come back to center. And do it all one more time. So stretch the leg out straight. Grab as high as you can and then pull. Really breathing. And bring it back in. Pull tight to your chest. And then we'll pull it back over to look the other way. Remember to relax into it. And then we'll come back to center. And put our leg down.
All right.
Okay.
So now
come back up to
I'm going to turn her off. Take a sip of water. Get out my trusty yoga strap. My left leg is definitely stiffer than my right now. And it's because of my left calf is tight. Burns. Alright, that's enough of that. Whew. Now I'm going to do my glutes. Start against the wall. My phone. Come here, you. Alright. A little bit closer. glutes. Oh, there goes my chat. This one's going to be more tricky with my bum knee. All right. We'll continue with the video now. Come here, you. There we go.
A standing position, and I'm going to bring one foot up to grab it. Relax into it, and then we'll come back to center and put our leg down. Okay, so now we're going to come back up to a standing position, and I'm going to bring one foot up to grab behind me. During this quad stretch, I want to make sure that I'm pushing my hips forward so I'm getting that full stretch all along my quad and into my hip flexor. And while you're here, I want to take a minute to tell you that you should always be working every single day, stretching and working towards that flexibility. But you also have to remember that your progress is not going to be linear. You're not going to be making constant, amazing results every single day. Some weeks you'll do great, and others you won't see much progress, but remember not to get discouraged, that the more that you're fighting for it and working towards that flexibility, you will get there. So let's switch to the other side. Really feeling that stretch all on that quad and in that hip flexor, pushing my hips
My
forward.
quads are tight today too, I can feel it.
Bringing my heel to touch my butt behind me. Hip flexors are always really tight while we're sitting at work, sitting anywhere in the car. Our natural seated position actually allows them to contract a lot, so it's really great to stretch them out. And then we'll come out.
I'm not ready to come out yet.
For
I'm going to
that
stay here for
position
another couple
too, if you're
seconds.
having trouble balancing, go ahead and go onto a wall or a chair next to you. So lastly, we're going to stretch our arms. So I'm going to bring my right one across my body and pull it in with my left. Really,
I'm going to go back to stretch my quads
here so that I can
once I'm done with my arms again.
My left arm is the only one working. And then swing it out. For the other side. My straight arm is relaxed. Really letting the other one stretch it out. And then we'll shake it out again. Do the tricep on this side. You really want to try and pull your hand to your shoulder and the arm that's stretching. Don't let it hang out up here. And then shake it out. And other side. Awesome job, guys. So, that's all I have for you today. I really hope that this video helped you.
I'm definitely feeling this one in my
Let me know in
shoulder.
the comments what worked and what didn't, and if there was any other areas that you'd like me to focus on. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.
Yeah, I'll do this stretch throughout the day for the next couple days. All right, back to quads. Yeah, I'm up to 195 pounds. I might hit, at the rate I've been going, I might hit 200 soon. Where's my balance? All right. And I'll stretch my arms. Chest open. Nice quiet night. I should use this thing here. That's what I want to use. Just moving around, doing slight variations, hitting different parts of my chest. This one here, I like this stretch. Feel it all the way down your arm. Feel all tingly. Where's my water here? All right, an hour and a half in. Let's find my next video.
So I have Karina, that's get forward to athlete. So what you're gonna do, right, like I said, this shouldn't just benefit your hamstrings, it should go all the way up through your spine. Alright, and for our second stretch, we're gonna do the half split. So what you're gonna do is extend your right foot forward, and then your it should go all the way up through. And then I'm gonna pull her in the opposite direction to get the same effect.
Oh, my water and my.
If you're doing this right, like I said, this shouldn't just benefit your hamstrings, it should go all the way up through your spine. Alright, and for our second stretch, we're going to do the half split. So what you're going to do is extend your right foot forward, and then your back leg bent, and
the side and then take it forward to target two different muscles in our hamstring, starting with the outside and then into the under hamstring. So take your left arm and reach all the way over until you're getting close to your toe. You should feel a deep stretch in your hamstring and also underneath your armpit. And then go ahead and take it forward. It's okay if you can't go all the way down, but go as close to your leg as you can. Then we're gonna go to the side again. So reach all the way over past your toe. Feel that deep stretch. And then we're facing our knee again. And then we're gonna do one more of those. So over to the side. And then put your stomach on your leg again. And just sit there for about 5 seconds or so. Now we're going to put our chest towards the center, so this is probably going to be a deeper stretch for most of you, so put your elbows all the way down to the ground, and if you're feeling a little bit ambitious, put it even further down. And reach as far forward as you can, and hold it for about 5 seconds. And then we're going to elbow our way back up to the top. And we're going to take what's going to stretch in your quadricep a little bit. So go back. And if you can't go all the way down flat on your back, just stay here on your elbows. And I'm going to do a little bit more of an advanced version and go further down for a further stretch like this. Just follow along with Karina if you're feeling like this is too much of a stretch. Now I'm going to go back to my elbows. You should feel this in your hip flexor as well. So by stretching all these muscles in our hips and our quadricep area, it's going to help increase our flexibility in our hamstrings as well. Now I'm going to walk all the way back up and go forward one more time. And just hold it there for 5 seconds. And then we're going to walk back, go down on our elbows again. And just like before, stay on your elbows, and if you're feeling like you want a little bit more of a stretch, then go all the way flat on your back. And I'm going to walk up and do the left side now.
All right, wait for me, woman.
Which
I can't keep up with you.
It's a little bit less flexible. It is for most people, so you might feel a little bit more of a stretch. So we're going to go all the way over to the side again and reach towards your
Not
toes.
ready for you.
And again, you should feel it all the way through your armpit and down the side of your body. Which, it's okay if this one's a little bit. And I'm going to walk up and do the left side now.
I'd be careful about
Which,
this
it's
knee.
okay if this one's a little bit less flexible. It is for most people, so you might feel a little bit more of a stretch. So we're going to go all the way over to the side again and reach towards your toes. And again, you should feel it all the way through your armpit and down the side of your body. And then we're going to put our chest on our knees again. And go again to the side. And then again back down to our knee. And one more time. All the way over to the side. Reach past your toes. And face down on your knee again. Alright, now we're going to do our stretch where we're going to go forward down to the ground. Just go as far as you can. Don't push it too much if it's hurting. And you should feel this in your inner thigh as well. And hold it for a few more seconds.
I was supposed to do a forward, I went back instead.
Up and go all the way back around. And either go on your elbows, or if you want more of a stretch again, go all the way down. And hold it there for about 5 seconds. And I'm going to walk back up and go forward again. And reach with your fingers all the way stretch. You can walk back up. And elbows towards the ground again. Or your back. Now I'm going to walk back up my last time. Alright, and so for my next position, I'm going to go ahead and get into a lunge position. So go ahead and take your left foot and plant it into the ground and extend your back leg out behind you. You should get into this position. And we're going to hold this for a few seconds. You should feel a stretch in your left hamstring as well as your right hip flexor. And the further you push your hip down, the more of a stretch you're going to feel in both areas. And then go ahead and rock back and forth a little for a deeper stretch. And then I'm going to go ahead and go up. And you're going to feel
waterlogged.
your right hamstring the farther forward you push onto your left foot. And also you're going to feel this in your left calf. And we're going to go back down. And make sure you're stretching both that hip flexor and your left hamstring. Just remember that it's important to stretch all these other muscles in order to get the full effect of this hamstring stretch. Now we're going to go back up. Now we're going to rotate to the center. So just move your hips this way. And stay there for a few seconds. If you want more of a stretch, go ahead and grab your ankles and pull your head through. But no need to do this if it's too much of a stretch. And rotate your hips to the other side. Then push your left ankle into the ground so you're getting a calf stretch. And then back into a lunge. And go ahead and hold this for a few seconds. And just like the other side, go ahead and make sure that you're pushing this left hip into the ground. Go back up and rock a little bit back and forth. Make sure you're targeting all those different areas of that back hamstring muscle. And then one more time back down. Push that left hip way into the ground. Go back up. And hold it there for a few more seconds. Pushing as far into the ground as you can. Trying to get that forehead on your right shin. And then go back to the center. And again, putting your hands on your ankles to pull your head through your legs. And if that's too much, again, no need to do that. Just go ahead and get as close to the ground as you can. Now we're going to walk our feet together. So we're in a pike position. We're going to finish off this position right here by pulling your ankles again and having your head go towards your shins. Just go ahead and hold this pike position for a few more seconds. Grab your ankles, pull yourself in. Release your neck, shake it out. And then pull your body into your chest one last time. And release. Alright, and so for this last position, it's going to be another form of the half splits. So we're going to start by taking our right foot in front of us. So take it out and parallel it to the mat. And bend your left knee. And we're going to start by just taking our chest and reaching it down forward in front of us to touch our
I'm on my left knee for the first time since I injured myself. I'm actually holding this on my leg.
Just hold it for a few seconds.
I'm scared.
This is our last position before we go into the splits.
I'm going to try it.
going down as far as I can. And Karina's gonna show probably more of what you guys are looking like at this point. I've been working on this for many years in my life, so don't be discouraged if you're not that close to the ground. But by watching this video a few times a week, hopefully you'll get closer to the goal. Now we're gonna rotate to the left side. And we're gonna do that by bringing your knee back up to the position we started in. And
oh, my knee hurts.
Rotate.
Ow.
Take your left leg out in front of you. And again, take your chest to your shin.
This has to be much stiffer.
Stretch, you should flatten your back so you get it all the way parallel to your leg. And hold it for a few more seconds. And again, this side is probably going to be harder for a lot of you because it's not most people's best side. So. And get prepared for the splits. Go ahead and slide your right leg out behind you. And go down as far as you can. So this is the goal that we have here. Again, Karina's an example of somebody who's still working on their splits, but after a few times of watching this video, you should improve a lot. Thank you for watching this video. Make sure to subscribe to The Psyche Truth and favorite this video if you enjoyed the stretch.
Okay. So I want to do some more lunging stuff on my own schedule. All right. So I'm going to finish off, stick my feet up the wall. Grab my trusty tool. Close that. Come here, you. I'm gonna play a game while I. Starting to burn. I can feel it. It's burning. Oh. Ah. Ah. Getting a wedgie. Oh. All right, I've had enough of that. Whew. One last position before I call it quits. Oh. Oh. Almost like some sort of bondage thing here. Yeah, my hips are nice and open. I don't have to worry about that. Right there. I'm feeling some stiffness through my neck and shoulders, even after all that. Bring out this guy. Ball just disappears underneath me. No, it's like right there. Oh, there's a spot. Right in my shoulder blades. Oh, there and then melt. I'm moving it. I'm laying on the lacrosse ball. Trying to find just the right spots to. There we go. There's another one. If I turn more, you can see this thing. Oh. Oh, I'm feeling it right there. All the way up. Right in my neck. Oh, there, it just melted. All right. Good sides. There's a spot. Right in the shoulder blades. All right, the last thing we do, get my shoulders one last time. Right there. I'll just lay into it till it melts. All right. I think that's enough active recovery for me today. Let's see who's all on right now. I will send you to this guy here. He's good people. So that was nice and relaxing. Feel like I'm getting a little bit less lean these days, but that's okay. I'm just a hungry boy. If I hit 200 pounds, I'll stream it. In the meantime, thank you for everybody who's stuck it out with me today. I'm going to raid Barcodius. Good people. And I'm ready to wind down for bed. Thank you, everybody. Have a good night. You couldn't sleep. Okay. Well, try putting your feet up the wall. That'll put you to sleep. You caught me right at the end. I was going to raid this guy. 2 hours of good quality, just me and my body focusing on what I need to do to recover. Your luck is terrible. I like emulating emotes, but I'm going to send you over to this guy, and he's a health and fitness streamer, but I don't know if he's streaming a workout right now. I think he might just be chatting, but have a good night. Immortal Chickens, thanks for sticking it out, and have a good night.
Shout out for Mr. Lord Admin. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. See where it pops up. If it pops up, there it goes. What the hell is happening in this clip, bro? Oh, he's dancing. Okay. Yeah, he's dancing.
I think the thriller dance.
Nice. Okay, he's got the moves. He's got the moves. Yo, Lord Admin, what's going on, dude? Appreciate it.
No, Whisper Spring. He does the same type of dancing as
Does he?
Kane.
Okay.
That's right.
Okay, cool.
Kane.
That was my learning the thriller choreography. Okay. Yo, nice moves, dude. Nice moves. I can't dance to save my life. Literally. Someone told me to dance to save my life. I would die.
I'm gonna go drop him a phone.
Oh, yeah. Okay,
I follow my
There you go. There you go, Adman. You gained a follower. Congrats, friend.
Oh, I'm already following.
Get wrecked. Oh, I do these. I do these with bands. I just don't have a machine that does the whoosh, whoosh, whoosh thing.
Yeah, that's what I said. It's basically the same thing as a row machine, but party.
Yo, Adman, question for you. Were you working out, brother?
Pretty killer for the last.